Oh, hello, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. Please ignore that this character model doesn't look anything like Clyde. Um, this cutscene plays immediately after the point where the screen blacked out last time, but in order to show you all the NPC dialogue between cutscenes, I didn't want to risk advancing the quest to where I could watch it in the in-room on Clyde. So we're starting here with my main character, Vicious. And
You are returned. Were your negotiations with the Wolfmen successful?
The one they called the White was receptive to our words once we told him of Doma's liberation. They withdrew behind the walls to inform their brethren. If the gods are good, no blood shall be shed between our peoples this day.
Hear, hear. Now, I think it's time we did something about those gates. Thaumaturges, forward!
there won't be any difference, and we'll go right back to Clyde
Give me
after.
hellfire! Give me Ifrit's bloody inferno!
Figure it's a small price to pay to be able to show you all of the NPC dialogue, assuming I don't accidentally tap into the next quest
Now give me a
advancement.
curse and winter! Enough ice and snow to bury a behemoth!
And I like Pippin, I do. But I kind of hate this cutscene because I feel like it should be Raban giving me orders. But, well. Already established that Raban is not going to be the field commander. He's back in...
All cannons! Fire at will! Let no man say we neglected to knock!
you know, the backline tents.
Damn that armor! We nearly had it!
Man, in a single stroke.
Is that...
It's he in, baby.
Bear witness, my Eorzean brothers and sisters! Doma is come to pay her debts!
Oh,
Lord Hien.
yeah.
We will deal with the flying machines! Forward, my friends! For freedom and justice!
Hey, look, Zugiri and some Shinobi on Yol. They all went through... must have gone through Bardam's medal.
You heard the man! All cannons resume firing!
How could anyone hear him from that high up? Whatever, maybe in this world there's a way to magically project your shouts.
We through. The way is clear.
Just imagine that that's Clyde, okay? Just turn his hair red and his skin slightly more pale. But yeah, that's that. And so now we'll hop over to what was she saying? My friend's perspectives on the NPCs in this game are interesting, I guess. Look at that artwork for the locks. It's supposed to be, I guess, a hand-drawn thing of Mhigo with the sun rising. I guess that's an airship up there of some sort. Possibly Garlean. It looks like it's got like jet propulsion. But oh, right, we don't have flying. Whoops. Well, no matter. I had been enjoying the new patch, the new Extreme trial. I tried it out, got to the halfway point basically, in the group I was in. I did Shiva Unreal, which was just Shiva Extreme, but at level 80. And, all the new storyline was fantastic, and I can't wait to get there in the Let's Play. But yeah, I was trying to convince my friends to go and do all that stuff, and put off working on the Let's Play for a while longer. But it just seems like either they have their statics and they don't care to do anything outside of their statics, or the time frame that I can play just doesn't work for anybody, / they don't care about doing the stuff right away. Which, I mean, I guess I can't blame them, but it's what came out, it's what there is to do. Most of them are working on crafting, though. Crafting everything they possibly can. This is where the cutscene would dump you if, you know, you had just come out of it. It would dump you like right here. Amarek is impressed by Hien. Wow, Raban is like, you can't hesitate, you gotta kill him. Okay. Cool beans, cool beans. Stormblood. Ooh. Is he pointing in the picture, or is his hand, I guess his hand is out or something? I can't tell. My unit of elite adventurers? Sure, why not? Elite, right. Now, hopefully it won't take that long to get into Mhigo as a duty. It's level 70, it's our first level 70 duty. But you get synced down to item level 310. So our gear's gonna get synced. And we're gonna lose our materia melds. Which kinda sucks, but it's whatever. 9 minutes? Ugh. Let me see if I can't get a friend to come with. Let's see. Oh, well, never mind. Here we go. A lot of Elysian conscripts for some reason. I guess they wanted to make them tall. Stand out, look imposing. Raban running ahead of us with Pippin and some Immortal Flames. Then there's us. So we've got a Dragoon, an Astrologian, a Dark Knight, which is me. Okay. Now, if you look to your left here, you can see Merriweb fighting with some, oh, why would you do that? Okay. And you look ahead, you can see Leafs fighting, saying liberty or death. I guess we'll stop the pull here since that Dragoon was silly and tethered me right away. Something I've been noticing recently with all people who come back to the game and stuff and lots of new players is people don't wait for tanks to do shit at all. Like DPS running ahead, healers running ahead. That's all fine and dandy, but when you start putting down your buffs and your floor tile things, you know, before we even, you know, have everything gathered up in an appropriate way, it's just sort of, you know, it just makes you lose DPS. Like, you do less DPS for not allowing the tank to, you know, gather things in an appropriate fashion. Of course, another thing I've noticed is that a lot of newbie tanks, or tanks of this era, they want to pull wall to wall no matter what. And this isn't always a good thing. Like, in the most recent dungeon that they just came out with, there's literally a part where 4 enemies spawn in, and they're the only enemies that are going to be in that part of the dungeon. Doesn't matter how far forward you pull them. And half of them are ranged. So when you start pulling them, you know, they don't follow you. Hey, there's Kenny Senna. The Twin Adders. Alright. Only we could help them. But yeah, like in that new dungeon, you know, going as far forward with that pull, where half the pull is ranged monsters, all it does is it makes all the DPS, particularly melee DPS, lose a whole bunch of DPS because, you know, the tank was trying to wall it, and I should have just stopped where the enemies actually spawn. But, you know, it's part of the symptom of it is just the general belief by the player base that dungeons are easy mode and take no effort whatsoever. Now, if we pay attention right here, listen to that guy. Scorpion around the bend. Remember to attack when its tail is up. That's a Final Fantasy VII reference to that horrible localized line. Also, this Dragoon is getting on my nerves. But that's okay, I guess. Won't be the first time. Let's put our new thing to use to be stupid. Sometimes I just like doing that because I can. The Blackest Night is so powerful. This thing doesn't have any tank busters either, so just one of those things. But it is a pretty faithful recreation of the Magitech Scorpion, huh? Now this, you can let it chase you around, but you know, it locks into a spot that's like, you know, not related to where, like, it chases you basically. So like, but you can run back through it because it's following your path. So it just has a little bit of a timing thing, and you can make it, you know, go where you want it to land. And also quite, I mean, I guess it puts its tail up when it's doing the, those column AoEs, but, you know, it doesn't really put its tail up like it does to do the laser and 7 at all. That could be worse. Item level 300 stuff. It's all pretty much worthless. It used to have good value right at the start of Stormblood, and it had decent value I guess about when Eureka came out, because Eureka got set to level item level 300 while you were inside. So until they came out with elemental level gear, and was now these 12th Legion Avengers, they hit extremely hard. They hit harder than the final boss of this dungeon. So like, you could do a huge mega pull past where I've ended this pull at and pull like, I think about 6 more or 9 more of those like giant bulldog monsters, and then there's like a Magitech Vanguard and some, you know, Garlean conscripts. Yeah, if you look to your right, you'll see, you know, some Ish Guardians fighting, and to your left, there's Amaric and Lucia. I kind of glossed over that, but it's hard to remember everything at once. I hate when the pool separates like that. Right, these dogs are really, they're nothing. They hit really, their hits are really weak, and they have like no HP, so everything in this pool can be stunned except for the Vanguard there. So, or the Magitech, whatever you want to call it. I used to love doing this pull last expansion on Dark Knight because you used to be able to use a skill called Dark Arts, and Abyssal Drain was a global, and you could just spam Dark Arts Abyssal Drain over and over again. And if you had every single monster between where we, you know, came in on those first 12th Legion Avengers or whatever, you had every single monster, it was like something like 17 or 18 monsters. So Dark Arts Abyssal Drain would literally net you back like 38,000 HP. And as you can see, that would be, you know, 3/4, almost more, as much HP as I have in total. And the Blackest Night works differently. It gave you blood instead of a free usage of whatever. So with that, you could cycle back and forth, and I don't know, it was just, it was phenomenal. It was great. It was amazing. Thanks for blue.
I shall have to share these findings.
Will you though?
Initiate soul extraction.
This boss trips a lot of people up.
Ha! Success.
I think that Bard is in the Stormblood Bard AF, so they might die. I don't know why I didn't get away from it, but whatever.
The soul rebels.
This is the scientist guy that performed the resonance procedure on Cordola. Olus Malacina. Yeah, he's just like some, you know, Midlander in a lab coat, basically, but he's the guy. Gave Cordola superpowers. Or the Echo, based on Kryle's Echo, or whatever. The artificial Echo. Don't blow all your cooldowns on this pull, because the next pull is relatively large and you know, calls for more. I mean, it doesn't have to be large, but I'm going to make it large. Although I wasted my sprint, so that's kind of annoying. Crazy how much faster the Astrologian bubble actually like gives the buff now. You used to have to sit still for a little bit. You just like popped it out, the bubble didn't even fully form, and then we were good to go. Only 2 targets, so Blood Spiller and Flood. And now we get a little cutscene. Doors open. He's smiling. Do you reckon he takes care of his long blonde hair, or do you reckon it's he just sort of leaves it and it's sort of like oily? Like a moth to a flame, but why else would you come if not for this? If you stand in this, you'll get paralyzed. We could just eat it with Blackest Night, but we'd still get paralyzed, even if it did no damage. I'll accept your challenge, buddy. You can actually run through that after the first cut and dodge the next 2 hits. This you can is a knockback.
Let this moment last forever.
This tank we can tank privilege through. This he will make this tether makes a cleave. It could be targeting anyone, so you just want to point him towards the outside. And if you're a tank, you're gonna want to move it, you know, into the cleave after it goes off. If you'll do Unmothering Troika, and if you're facing the center, you're likely to get someone else cleaved, and they'll die within 2 swings. So. Can't knock me back if it does no damage. Oh, but we didn't even come close to breaking it.
Red!
This is awkward.
This is the end.
Oh dear, healer. No, healer, stop. Saw that coming.
Show me your will.
Well, they might have to clutch this.
Yes! Yes! Just so.
Black side on him. Bard's gonna get himself killed. That's a knockback, so you want to run towards this Zenos illusion. Oh boy, we might not be able to clutch this. It's okay though, we'll just try again, you know, if we can.
Yes! Yes! Just so.
Now they're gonna die. Whatever. Cast the DPS check with flying colors.
The power to transcend.
10%? I don't think we can do it. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, maybe. We might get him. Alright, we got him. No victory music, because he's not dead yet. Look how serious Clyde is. Alright, we got some cutscenes to do. Had about 30 minutes to do them in. Although, depending on how long they take...
Yes! Yes! Such ferocity. Such tenacity. I am loath to recall how disappointed I was when first we fought. But finally, after bathing in the blood and offal of your enemies, finally you prove yourself worthy prey for the hunt. It fills you even now, doesn't it? The hunger to bite down on my jugular. To feel the warmth fill your mouth and run over even as you drink deep. Good. Good. This is the beast I have longed to face. As you sharpen your claws, I too sought newfound strength. But this is no place for a final contest. Come! The heavens shall bear witness to our dance.
Ballsy, isn't he? He didn't, like, jump away, he didn't, like, sprint away, or anything. He just casually walked again. Is that... That's Shinryu.
Welcome to the Royal Menagerie. The King of Ruin built this place for his foreign queen. He kept it filled with familiar creatures from her homeland. They bored me all. This fine specimen, on the other hand, is simply divine. Your fates are entwined, are they not, Icon Slayer? This dragon, this embodiment of unbridled despair, born of a desperate man's burning hatred for the Empire. How raw the raging tempest that churns within its breast. No myth made manifest this, but a being of pure violence. Mayhap you are the true architect of our design. You who fought the very soul of vengeance to the edge and watched him fall. You who let slip the Allegan hound to drive this icon into my arms. Oh my, have I said too much? Forgive me, this sensation is wholly unfamiliar to me. A question, then, and I should like very much for you to speak from the heart. If I were to stand aside, what would you do to this icon?
Doesn't look like I have to do anything to it. Looks well contained to me. It's already bound, so bind it doesn't make any sense. Silence doesn't make any sense.
Ah, as simple as that. But of course, you are the Icon Slayer. Such certainty is to be expected. A pity. There is another alternative. Or there would be. Had you only mastered your ability. I speak of the Echo, of course. Does it merely render you immune to iconic influence, or is it rather that your influence is far greater than theirs? Granted, these implications are of no moment to a savage who thinks only of killing the beast before him. But when I read Van Belsar's reports, I immediately saw the boundless potential of the Echo. I saw how it could be instrumental in binding an icon to one's will. Hence my research and the Resonant, to know so much more. All icons must be exterminated, without exception. Such was the Imperial mandate issued by my great-grandfather, after he saw firsthand the destruction wrought by one such being. They are a blight upon this star, he felt. And so he began his great and just crusade. Ha! 'Twas not justice which spurred his campaign, but fear! Fear of the Icons! Fear of their power! Cowardice made them march forth to battle. Pathetic. Man should fight for the joy of it. To live, to eat, to breed. Lesser beasts snap and howl at one another for this. Only man has the wisdom and the clarity to embrace violence for its own sake. For we who are born into this merciless, meaningless world have but one candle of life to burn. I know you understand this. You and I are one and the same. Together, we could while away the quiet hours as friend and confidant. If you will accept me.
What, you can accept him? What the fuck? I'm pretty sure that Clyde would deny him.
And yet, in doing so, you prove me right. We are warriors. 'Twas plain from the first how this would end. You live for these moments, when all hangs in the balance. When the difference between life and death is but a single stroke. I live for them too! This is who we are, my friend! This is all we are! And Mhigo and Doma and Garleans be damned! Above the gods, you by your gift, I by my might. And before the Resonant, the gods shall be made to kneel.
Shazam. So we've got about 18 minutes. We could probably, if we queued instantly, we could probably beat the fight, but we obviously wouldn't have time for the cutscenes afterwards, because this is the final fight for, you know, that ends the main story for 4.0. So, yep. And, I'm pretty sure they changed this area's music. This is the Royal Menagerie, and this used to be the only time in the whole of the storyline for Stormblood that you got access to it. And it wasn't until about, I think, 3.2, I want to say, although it might have been 3.1. They made it re-accessible at any time because so many people loved it for taking screenshots, because they liked that it was a pretty, you know, garden, basically. And, yeah. But, for now, I think I'll call it here. And then, perhaps next time we can get through the Royal Menagerie. And, we'll get it done then. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe and have a good day.